Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you probably think you know everything about the series. But trust me, my dears, even in the deepest, darkest corners of Westeros, secrets linger. And today, I'm going to unveil 10 of them. Get ready for some behind-the-scenes mishaps, surprising show secrets, and jaw-dropping revelations that even the three-eyed raven didn't see coming. We're about to uncover the stories whispered amongst the Godswood trees, the untold tales of Game of Thrones. So grab your dragon eggs, pour yourself some Dornish wine, or maybe just a cup of tea, and let's dive right in. Right, let's kick things off with a big one. Game of Thrones almost didn't happen. Can you imagine? A world without dragons, direwolves, and the fight for the Iron Throne? The original pilot, my loves, was a bit of a disaster, it's true. Test audiences hated it, and the creators knew they were in deep, deep trouble. So deep they had to reshoot the entire thing. Major changes were made, including the recasting of key characters. Remember Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons? Well, she was originally played by Tamsin Merchant. Yes, you heard right. It was like a different fire altogether. Imagine how different the show would have been with a different Khaleesi. It makes you wonder about the twists and turns fate can take, doesn't it? Now let's talk about everyone's favorite pointy chair. The Iron Throne. Ever wondered why it looks so unique? Well, my darlings, it's not just a random pile of swords. Oh no, there's more to it than meets the eye. The clever production team actually added swords from various famous films into the mix, including, wait for it, The Lord of the Rings! Yes, you heard me right. If you look closely, you can actually spot Gandalf's sword, Glamdring, hidden amongst the blades. It's a cool little Easter egg for all you fantasy fans out there. Who knows what other treasures might be hidden within that tangled mess of steel? This one's for all you language geeks out there. You know those Dothraki warriors with their guttural cries and the Targaryens whispering spells in High Valyrian? Well, those weren't just gibberish. Not at all. Linguist David J. Peterson created fully functional languages for the show. That's right, complete with grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation rules. Imagine that. Learning to speak like a Dothraki Khal or a Valyrian dragon lord. So, if you ever felt like impressing your friends with a few choice phrases in High Valyrian, it's actually possible. Now, who wants to learn how to say Dracarys with me? Remember those adorable direwolf pups from the very first episode? So innocent, right? Well, did you know that in the first season, those weren't just special effects? They were real wolves. They were digitally scaled up to look bigger, of course. But those early scenes, the ones that melted our hearts, were done with actual wolves. It's amazing what practical effects can achieve, isn't it? Of course, as the pups grew into those magnificent, larger-than-life direwolves, CGI had to take over. But for a little while, the Stark children really did have their own pack of wolves. Love it or hate it, you can't deny that Game of Thrones was a phenomenon. And its impact wasn't just felt in the realm of television, oh no, it made history at the Emmys. That's right, my darlings, Game of Thrones holds the record for the most Emmy Awards won by a scripted TV show with a staggering 59 wins. 59 golden statues. That's more awards than all the kingdoms in Westeros combined. Whether you were Team Targaryen, Team Stark, or even Team Lannister, you have to admit that's pretty impressive. Now let's lighten the mood with a funny yet slightly painful story. Our beloved Jon Snow, played by the dashing Kit Harington, actually broke his nose on set. But hold on, it wasn't during one of those epic battle scenes you might imagine. No, he didn't get whacked by a wildling or trampled by a giant. He accidentally hit himself in the face with his sword hilt while filming. Yes, you heard right. He was probably practicing his moves, trying to look all heroic, and bam, broken nose. Talk about taking your work home with you, or in this case, taking it to the ER. Chapter 7, The Coffee Cup Incident. Ah, Season 8. It was a wild ride, wasn't it? And one of the wildest moments wasn't even planned. Remember the infamous coffee cup incident? It was all anyone could talk about for weeks. Picture this. Winterfell, the living and the dead are about to clash in the biggest battle ever. And there on a table sits a modern-day coffee cup. Oops! It wasn't just the fans who were shocked. Even the cast and crew were surprised when they realized a bit of Starbucks had made its way into ancient Westeros. The internet, of course, had a field day with it, and the memes were legendary. It was quickly edited out, but the damage was done. Now this next fact involves the mastermind behind it all, the man who dreamt up this whole world, George R.R. Martin. Did you know he was supposed to have a cameo in the original pilot? He was all set to play a guest at Daenerys and Khal Drogo's wedding. Can you imagine that? Seeing the man himself in Vice Dothrak witnessing the start of Dany's journey. But alas, it was not meant to be. After the disastrous first pilot was scrapped, his cameo didn't make it into the reshoot. Maybe we would have had more books by now if he'd been busy acting. One of the things that made Game of Thrones so captivating was its stunning scenery. Those breathtaking landscapes, ancient castles, and sprawling cities, they weren't just the product of CGI, my friends. Oh no, the show was filmed on location in some of the most beautiful places on Earth. King's Landing, for instance, was shot in Dubrovnik, Croatia, a city steeped in history and charm, and the eerie, otherworldly landscapes beyond the wall? Those were filmed in Iceland, a land of fire and ice. These places have since become huge tourist attractions, and rightly so. If you ever wanted to walk in the footsteps of the Lannisters or the Night's Watch, you know where to go. Now this last fact is a bit bittersweet. You see, after the show's popularity exploded, there was a surge in people adopting huskies because they looked like direwolves. Those fluffy pups did steal our hearts, didn't they? But sadly, many people didn't realize how much care these dogs need. Huskies are high-energy, independent creatures, and they require a lot of attention and training. Unfortunately, a lot of them ended up being abandoned. It's a reminder that pets aren't just for show, they're family, and they deserve our love and care. So if you're thinking of getting a dog, any dog, please do your research and be prepared to make a lifelong commitment. And that's it. 10 little-known facts about Game of Thrones that show just how epic and complex this series was behind the scenes. Remember, every dragon has its secrets, and every story has its hidden chapters. If you learned something new today, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows and movies. Let me know in the comments which fact surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, fire and blood, my friends.